On the evening of October 26, 2024, tragedy struck a small community in Edo, Edo State. A story surfaced about a 17-year-old girl named Peculiar, accused of poisoning her ex-boyfriend, Emmanuel, along with 4 of his friends. The events that unfolded in a Fascio community, Yuzairu, at Sako West local government area of Edo State, Nigeria have raised numerous questions and fueled speculation as the community reels from the shock. The bodies of the 5 victims were found when neighbors noticed no one had left Emmanuel's house that morning. They found this unusual since they knew the house was occupied. When one of Emmanuel's friends arrived to collect a pair of shoes, he stumbled upon the devastating scene. In a video circulating online, viewers saw 2 bodies lying in the sitting room, positioned close together. Another body was discovered in the hallway, leading to a back room or perhaps the kitchen. In the bedroom lay Emmanuel, lifeless in bed beside his female friend, totaling 5 deceased individuals. Before we continue, if you're fascinated by real-life mysteries and gripping true crime cases, you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, so you stay updated on our latest cases. And if you're already subscribed, drop a like to show your support. Let's dive into today's story. Initially, neighbors speculated that generator fumes might have been the cause, as incidents of carbon monoxide poisoning from generators are not uncommon in the area. Generators placed too close to windows or ventilation can lead to a deadly accumulation of fumes indoors, tragically suffocating occupants. However, there was something perplexing about this theory in this case. The layout of the home, a sitting room, a kitchen, and a bedroom, suggested that fumes from a generator outside would not easily reach the bedroom, where Emmanuel and his friend lay, appearing almost peaceful. Soon, rumors of food poisoning began circulating, hinting that it might have been a more deliberate act rather than an accident. These suspicions led to Peculiar's arrest, and a narrative quickly emerged connecting her to the deaths. According to this story, Peculiar, Emmanuel's ex-girlfriend, had allegedly prepared pepper soup for him. This meal, intended for him alone, was rumored to contain poison. However, the food was shared with his guests that evening, his younger brother, his female friend, and 2 others who had decided to stay the night. The consequence, all 5 were tragically lost. As theories continued to fly, reports surfaced that Peculiar denied any involvement, insisting she had no knowledge of the events that led to the deaths. Despite her denial, some sources claimed that she had admitted to poisoning Emmanuel but said she hadn't expected his friends to consume the food. At the time of this story's release, the police had not confirmed any specifics. They had not verified whether Peculiar was indeed responsible, leaving the public with only speculation and unanswered questions. In the meantime, investigators continued their work, holding Peculiar in custody for her own protection. As suspicions rose, the community grew restless, demanding answers. Without an autopsy report, many remain uncertain about what actually caused these young people's deaths, whether they were poisoned or succumbed to carbon monoxide poisoning. However, amidst this uncertainty, Peculiar's online activity came under scrutiny. Internet sleuths unearthed cryptic posts she had made on TikTok that appeared to reflect a dark mindset. In one post, she warned that anyone wishing her harm would face cries of sorrow in their household. For some, this statement eerily foreshadowed the grief that would soon befall Emmanuel's family and friends. Other posts suggested she might still have been fixated on her recent breakup. Her final post, for instance, discussed relationships in a way that led many to believe she was still emotionally affected by the end of her relationship with Emmanuel. These discoveries prompted another round of questions. If Peculiar harbored feelings of resentment or unresolved emotions, could this have driven her to commit such a crime? And, more puzzlingly, why did Emmanuel ask his ex-girlfriend to cook for him in the first place? Many found this detail strange. If Emmanuel had truly moved on, why did he turn to Peculiar to prepare food for him and his guests? Was he unaware she was the one who made the pepper soup, or was it a matter of trying to maintain a friendship after their breakup? Some suggest Emmanuel might have still trusted her or perhaps believed they could maintain a civil relationship despite their romantic history. Others speculated he might have been attempting to rekindle their friendship, or he could have been trying to support her business if she cooked professionally. However, the presence of another woman in Emmanuel's house that night, the one who was found dead beside him, complicated this theory. Did Peculiar know about this other woman? Could she have prepared the food as an act of revenge, unable to accept that Emmanuel had moved on? Regardless of Peculiar's intentions, the tragic events that followed underscore a common cautionary tale: engaging too soon with an ex, especially if they still harbor hurt or unresolved feelings, can have unforeseen consequences. While Emmanuel may have believed he was on good terms with Peculiar, her social media posts suggest she was still processing the end of their relationship and was possibly still hurt. To understand the depth of the relationship's aftermath, it's essential to consider the dynamics of their breakup, a subject clouded in speculation. Did Emmanuel initiate the split? Did Peculiar feel scorned or betrayed? While the specifics remain unclear, the mere possibility that she could have had a hand in this tragic outcome raises unsettling questions. As with many similar cases, when a close connection or recent ex is involved, suspicions naturally fall upon them, whether fairly or not. Many in the community are trying to piece together the events leading up to that fateful night. It's possible that Peculiar was entirely innocent and is merely a convenient suspect due to her recent split from Emmanuel. But the timing, the pepper soup, and her cryptic online posts seem suspicious enough to warrant further investigation. Additionally, the chance that generator fumes caused the deaths has not been entirely dismissed. Although less sensational than a poisoning theory, generator fumes have claimed lives in tragic accidents in both rural and urban areas alike. Carbon monoxide poisoning is particularly dangerous because the gas is odorless, colorless, and nearly impossible to detect without specific devices. In homes where generators are placed near windows or vents, carbon monoxide can silently infiltrate and displace the oxygen in a room, leading to unconsciousness and, eventually, death. Those who viewed the footage of the victims observed that the bodies, especially those in the bedroom, appeared peaceful. Typically, with food poisoning, there would be visible signs such as foaming at the mouth or other distress indicators. But in this case, only those in the sitting room and hallway showed signs of having attempted to move, possibly to escape. Emmanuel and his female friend lay side by side, seemingly untouched by any physical struggle, adding weight to the theory of a more passive cause of death, like carbon monoxide inhalation. If not for the suspicion surrounding Peculiar, this story might not have attracted such widespread attention. Unfortunately, generator poisoning is alarmingly common, often unnoticed in communities without adequate ventilation measures. But with Peculiar as a figure of intrigue in this narrative, the theory of poisoning has gripped the public's imagination, overshadowing what could simply be a tragic accident. Those affected by this story hope an autopsy will soon reveal what truly happened to these young people. The possibility of generator fumes, although less scandalous, cannot be ignored. And if the deaths were indeed accidental, it would serve as a stark reminder of the silent dangers associated with carbon monoxide, especially in communities where electricity shortages make generator use a daily necessity. Nevertheless, it's hard to ignore that Peculiar's presence in this narrative fuels suspicions. Her social media posts, particularly the one about bringing sorrow to those who cross her, have become focal points in public discussions. Despite her claims of innocence, these statements lead some to wonder if she possessed motives beyond what she's publicly revealed. Investigators will likely weigh all these factors as they attempt to close the case. In the days following the discovery, the community's grief has been compounded by rumors, accusations, and debates about Peculiar's role in the tragedy. Friends and family of the victims continue to demand answers, looking to the police for clarity. While the toxicology reports are pending, all anyone can do is speculate. If this was an act of vengeance, it speaks to the dangerous depths of unresolved emotions. If Peculiar did indeed seek to harm Emmanuel, only to inadvertently take the lives of his friends as well, it would be a haunting reminder of how unintended victims can be swept up in the aftermath of broken relationships. However, if the autopsy finds that generator fumes were the cause, it would shift the narrative from one of suspected betrayal to a tragic accident, one that sadly occurs too often. Carbon monoxide, a silent killer, has taken countless lives, a reality that doesn't always capture media attention unless attached to a scandal or mystery. In the end, whether this was the work of a bitter ex or a tragic accident, the community is left to mourn 5 lives cut short. Their story has sparked important conversations about the need for safety, both in the ways we use generators and in the dynamics of our relationships. As we await the final report, one thing is certain: this tragic event has left an indelible mark on community. This story, for now, remains open-ended. The search for answers continues, and the people of Afashio community, Yuzairu, at Sako West local government area of Edo State hold their breath for what's to come. Thanks for watching. If you found this story intriguing, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to True Crime Peter, and turn on notifications so you never miss a case. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and if there's a story you'd like us to cover, drop it in the comments. Stay safe, and see you in the next video.